This program is put together by Firstman Learning Hub. So at Firstman, we provide digital skills training in data analytics, data science, financial modeling, coding, UX design, digital marketing, and financial modeling. Now we provide expert-led training and then also offer flexible training options. So whether you're a student or you're a professional, you'll be able to develop your technical skills aside what you do on full-time basis. We also offer premium self-paced courses. So if you want to learn at your own pace, when you visit our website, we have a lot of courses that you can enroll in to develop your digital skills. Now at Firstman, what we do is that we empower you to build strong tech skills that will help you to transform your world. Now you would agree with me that the world that we live in at the moment is changing rapidly, which is being driven by technology, which AI is part of. Now, if you don't develop strong skills in the tech space, you are going to be displaced. Your job will be taken over by AI. So you have to find a way to develop strong skills within the tech space, either in data science, data analytics, or in UX design or product management. These are some of the tech skills that are in demand. So if you want to transform your career, if you want to future-proof your career, you need to develop strong technical skills that will help you to navigate the modern workspace. And at Firstman, we give you all the skills that you need to be able to empower your future. Now at Firstman, what we say is that opportunities don't happen, you create them. So you need to take your future into your own hands, develop the relevant skills that you need to succeed. And then when you come to Firstman, we give you all the tools, all the platform that you need to be able to achieve your objectives. Now, these are some of the courses or programs that we offer at Firstman. We provide live bootcamps, just like what you have joined today. Now, this section is part of our upcoming bootcamp, but we have made it opened. So anyone who is interested in pursuing career options within the data space can join. So we provide live bootcamps, which are live instructor led. So in all of our bootcamps, you have instructors who will meet you on weekends. We are also introducing full-time or weekday section where we are going to have evening classes where instructors will come and lead you through some of the courses that we offer. We also have in-person sections in Accra, and then we also offer part-time and full-time cohorts. So if you are working full-time and you want to still pursue or develop your data analytics skills or your digital skills, we have so many options for you. If you're also a student or maybe a graduate, you are home and you want to look at other options that you can explore, we also have full-time cohorts that you can join. Now, these are some of the bootcamps that we offer. We have business intelligence and data analytics bootcamp. This bootcamp is starting today. So this section is part of this bootcamp, but I have made it open so anyone can join. By going forward, it will only be accessible by those who have actually registered for the program. Now, our business intelligence and data analytics bootcamp runs for 16 weekends. So this is part-time. So it only runs on weekends. So whether you are working full-time or part-time, you'll be able to join this section. And it's also online. So you can also join from any part of the world. Then we also have programming for data science with Python. So if you want to pursue career options within the data space as a data scientist or AI specialist, you can also sign up for our programming for data science with Python. This also works for 16 weeks and it's online, so you can also join from any part of the world. Now, next month, we are introducing another bootcamp, which is data engineering. So this is geared towards people who want to pursue career options within the data engineering space or who want to become data engineers. So in the course of this section, I'm going to introduce you to some of the roles. So what do data engineers do? So you can assess if it's something that you want to go into. Then we also provide live bootcamps in UX and UI design, and then Microsoft Power BI analyst. So if you want to specialize in Power BI, we also have 16 weeks program, which has been designed to help you to develop all the technical skills that you need to become a Power BI analyst or a Power BI developer. Then we also have digital marketing, which will also be starting very soon. Now, aside this, we also have career tracks that you can also pursue. So this is geared towards people who want to pursue full-time career options within the data space. So we have business intelligence career track. So this is for people who want to become a BI analyst. Then we also have data science career track. So this is for those who want to pursue full-time career options within the data space as a data scientist or machine learning specialist. Then we have data analytics career track, business analytics career track, and then the SQL analyst career track. So if you want to become a database administrator or a database specialist or any of the fields within the data space, SQL is one of the key skills that you need. So if you want to specialize in that, we also have a full 16 weeks bootcamp, which will help you to master all the concepts within Microsoft SQL Server and Azure Data Studio. Then we also have the Power BI career track that you can also join. Now, these are some of the benefits of our career tracks. It helps to future-proof your career. So we equip you with the latest industry relevant skills that you need to future-proof your career in this ever-changing digital landscape. We also help you to build your skills. So our programs offer a comprehensive syllabus which has been designed using industry standards to help you to enhance your digital skills and competencies. We also help you to take control of your career. So we empower you with all the skills that you need to take full ownership of your career. Then our courses are also designed to prepare you for a full-time role. So it makes you job ready. So we give you all the relevant skills that companies are hiring for. So if it's data analytics or business intelligence that you want to pursue, we always check on the job market what companies are hiring for, and we incorporate them in what we offer at Firstman. We also help you to become a high demand data professional by equipping you with the relevant skills that you need. We also help you to build your network. So when you join any of our programs, we do the trainings in cohorts. We don't do one-on-one training. Our trainings are done within cohorts where you have the option to connect with professionals who are coming from different backgrounds. So with the current cohort that we already have one cohort which is running. We have professionals who have joined from the banking industry, in consulting, in marketing, in manufacturing. We have a lot of them. So when you join any of our bootcamps, you get the opportunity to build your network. You don't know where you are going to meet or where you are going to need the help of another person. That also exposes you to different perspectives and how things are being done within different industries. Now, aside this, we also have self-paced courses that you can also learn at your own pace on any device. So when you go to hub.firstman.io, you can find courses on Power BI, Python, advanced Excel, modern Excel, data visualization, dashboard design. You also find courses on SQL. So when you go to hub.firstman.io, you'll be able to find some of the self-paced courses that you can use to develop yourself on part-time basis. And you learn at your own pace 24/7. And you can access any of our courses on any device. So you can learn on your mobile phone, on your laptop, or maybe a desktop device. So at Firstman, our main goal is to unlock Africans' potential through innovative tech education. So what we do is that we focus on developing practical skills on hands-on experience that enables our students to excel in their career. We are also committed to providing innovative and cutting-edge education that prepares Africans for the changing world of work. And our goal is to create a positive impact in the Africans tech industry by empowering Africans with the skills and knowledge to drive change and build a better future for all. So these are some of the things that we do at Firstman. So these are some of the feedback from our students. So we have our students who have joined our program from these companies. And if you check this, when you go to LinkedIn, you'll be able to see some of the comment that we have received or the feedback that we have received from our students. You can go out there and read more about what you do and how we drive value. So this is going to be the introduction on Firstman. Now let's dive into how you can begin your journey in the data space. So a little bit about me. I'm sure I introduced myself from the beginning. So my name is Thomas Festus Kujo. I'm the lead trainer and founder at Firstman Learning Hub. Now I'm a Microsoft Data Platform MVP a Microsoft certified Power BI analyst and also a Microsoft certified trainer. Professionally, I'm a chartered accountant with qualifications from SEMA and ICA Ghana. Now, if you want to follow me, you can follow me on LinkedIn, Instagram, and then Twitter at CT Festus, or you can just search for Thomas Festus Studio. You'll be able to find me, and then I'll be happy to connect with you. Now, let's talk about data analytics. Now, before we dive into data analytics, first we need to look at what data is. Then we can begin from there and then build on that scale for you to be able to understand and fully appreciate what data analytics is. So before I go into what data analytics is all about, I will take you through what data is. Now, you would agree with me that data is everywhere. Now, everything that we do at the moment generates data. In fact, the amount of data that exists at the moment is growing at a rapid rate. And based on research, the data that we have doubles every 2 years. Now, per report from IBM, by 2025, it is estimated that about 463 exabytes of data will be created every day globally. Every day, this amount of data that will be created, 463 exabytes. Now, this is equivalent to 463 billion gigabytes of data. Now, think about this. 1 exabyte is equal to 1 billion gigabytes of data. So if you have 463, it means that we are looking at 463 billion gigabytes of data. And this is going to be generated every single day globally. Now, think about yourself. Now, today, how many messages have you received on WhatsApp? Or how many messages have you sent on WhatsApp? Think about Facebook. Think about Twitter. Think about YouTube. The number of videos that people are uploading every day. Now, think about the posts that you have shared on the various social media platforms. All these are examples of data. So the person who is uploading the video, the one who is watching the video, everybody is contributing to the data. So when I send you a message and you read the message, you have contributed to the data. The person who sent the message has also contributed to data. So data is everywhere. Even the webinar that we are watching at the moment is generating data, because at the end of this program, I can download the file and I'll be able to know the number of people who joined the call and then the duration or the time that they spent on the call. This is an example of data. So when you talk about data, data is collection of facts. So data is a collection of facts which include numbers, images, audio, videos, and other observation. So as maybe you just went out to buy something, you saw 5 people. This is an example of data. This is an observation. Now think about the images that you have seen today or you have shared on the various social media platforms. Think about the music that you have listened to today. This is an example of data. Think about the number of people who had COVID-19 in the various countries around the globe. It's an example of data. So data, it's anything which can be analyzed or can provide information. So here we refer to it as collection of facts. An example of this includes images, audio, videos, and other observation. Now let's build upon that and look at data analytics. So you have already seen what data is. So the next thing is about analytics. Now when you talk about data analytics, it's defined as the science of examining raw data. So here we are examining raw data. And our goal for examining the data is to identify trends and patterns within the data. And we are not just interested in the trends and the patterns that we are going to discover in the data, but we are going to use that to drive business decisions. It's not only business, it can also be used to drive personal decisions. And that's the main goal of data analytics. That's the main goal of data analytics. So here we are examining raw data. And our goal for examining the data is to identify whether there are any trends or patterns. And we are not just interested in the fact that there are trends and patterns, but we are using that insight to make decisions. So the decisions can be personal decision or it can be business decision. For example, you can just on your mobile phone, you can look at the amount of data bundle that you are spending on the various applications that you have on your phone. So on WhatsApp, you'll be able to know the amount of data that you have consumed. You can check LinkedIn, you can check Telegram, all these social media platforms or the apps that you have on your phone. You can look at the amount of data that you have consumed on these apps. And then you can use that insight to make personal decisions. Maybe you spend too much data bundle on maybe WhatsApp. Then you can plan going ahead. Maybe you want to reduce the amount of engagement or the kind of messages that you spend. Or maybe you can decide to maybe log in or maybe go online maybe once in a day, or you can use that one to just make decisions. The other thing is that from that same analysis, you can discover that maybe there are some apps that you don't actually use, but these apps are consuming your data bundle. So from that insight, you can use it to make decision. Okay, let me delete this particular app because I'm not using it, but this app is consuming my data. So our goal with data analytics is to identify trends and patterns, and then we use that to make informed decisions. Now, the data analytics process involves connecting to data, cleaning and transforming the data, modeling the data, and summarizing the data with the goal of discovering new and meaningful insights that can be used in driving business decisions. So if you take companies as an example, they will analyze their data. So let's pick a financial institution. They can analyze their data. Say they have mobile app. They can analyze the data on their mobile app. So how many users do they have on the app? What kind of services are they using the app for? So did they use the app to buy data bundles? Are they using it to send money to their families? Are they using it to buy things online? Then they can compare this with the data that they have. How many customers do they have as a bank? Then they can track and identify the customers who are not using their mobile app. Then they can send some targeted ads that will encourage such customers to download their mobile apps. So here they have been able to analyze the data to identify the customers who are using their mobile apps and then identify the ones who are not using their mobile app. Then they can send messages that will encourage those customers to download their mobile apps. So data analytics is being applied in almost every industry because every industry, every business, regardless of the size, is collecting data. Now, they don't just want to collect the data, but they want to make sure that they are making decisions based on what the data is telling them. At first, most organizations were not having the tools or the platforms to collect data, but now they have access to all the technologies that they need to collect and store data. Now, the next challenge most companies are facing now is the right people who have the right skills that will help them to transform that data into actionable insights. And that's the more reason why we've seen an increase in demand for professionals who have data skills or who are able to make meaning out of data. Now, within the data analytics steps or stage, we have different types. So here we have grouped these analytics into 4 main categories. We have descriptive analytics, we have diagnostic analytics, and we have predictive analytics. And then finally, we have prescriptive analytics. So any engagement, any data analytics project that you are going to undertake will fall within one or more of these types. So let's start with descriptive analytics. Now, when you are analyzing data and your goal for analyzing the data is to understand historical trends or what has happened, then you are performing descriptive analytics. So with descriptive analytics, it helps you to answer the question, what happened or what is happening. So a company can pick their past 5 years data and then they can decide to analyze the data to understand what has happened in the past. So over the past 5 years, are we increasing our profit? Are we increasing our number of customers? So the goal of descriptive analytics is to summarize historical data to better understand what is happening or what happened in the past. So it helps analysts and businesses to answer the question, what happened? So as a country, whether Nigeria, India, Ghana, or South Africa, we can sit back and look at the COVID cases that we have recorded over the past few years to be able to understand the trends and the patterns that has happened already. So when you are doing this kind of analysis, it's known as descriptive analytics. So here we summarize large data sets to discover trends and patterns. Then we can use that to make future decisions. So if you take platforms like Jumia, they can analyze their data for the past few months, or maybe just this year, within the first quarter. They want to analyze it. Are we getting more users on the platform? Are they ordering? What kind of products are they ordering on our platform? Then they can use that insight to make future decisions. So the goal here is to understand what happened. So here we are analyzing historical data to be able to understand and appreciate what has happened in the past. So here you perform some summary statistics. For example, you can calculate the total sales, maybe average revenue over the past 5 years, maybe what has been our minimum number of subscribers at any point in time. So with this, our goal is to understand what has happened or what is happening at the moment. Then we also have diagnostic analytics. So here you can get the meaning from the name itself, diagnostic. So here you want to dig deeper. So here you are taking a step further to really understand why did it happen. So based on your descriptive analytics, you have understood that, okay, every December, our number of orders go up based on the descriptive analytics that you have done. Now, at the diagnostic analytics, now you are taking that insight further to dig deeper into what accounted for what you experienced in the past. So, for example, you can analyze your own data bundle usage. Maybe if you have an app that can give you your data bundle usage over the past few months, then maybe you discover that within a particular month, your data consumption went up. So you got that insight from the descriptive analytics that you performed. That after you analyze everything, you realize that your data consumption was really high in January. Now, when you are doing diagnostic analytics, you're going to take that further and understand why your data bundle consumption increased in January. So you can go into your mobile phone, look at the apps and their consumptions over the past month. Then from that, you'll be able to understand, okay, because I was doing this particular project, maybe at that time you were taking some online course on your mobile phone. So doing the diagnostic analytics, we want to really understand what caused the things the trend that we saw during the descriptive analytics to happen. So here we want to understand why did it happen. So that's the main focus of diagnostic analytics. So it's a form of advanced analytics that helps you to examine the past data to answer the question, why did it happen? So your company can analyze their data. Maybe they discovered that within a particular month, their sales went down drastically. Now, during the diagnostic, they want to understand why our sales dropped drastically in this particular month or within this particular year. And through that analysis, they will be able to obtain answers that will help them to make future decisions. So here, analysts take their findings from the descriptive analytics and dig deeper to find the cause or the factors that accounted for that trend or that pattern that they discovered during the descriptive analytics. Now, the next analytics type that we have is predictive analytics. Now, I believe everyone understands this. Predictive. So here we are making predictions. So this helps us to answer the question, what will happen in future? So going forward, what is going to happen to our business? Going forward, what is going to happen to our number of customers? Going forward, what is going to happen to our sales revenue or revenue from sales? So here we are making predictions. We are predicting future outcomes. Now, you can only predict the future if you know the past. If you don't know the past, seriously, it's very difficult to predict the future. So now let's go back to the stages or the types again, and then I'll bring you back to the predictive analytics and how it fits into the other two types that we have already looked at. Now, you analyze the data to understand what happened in the past. So let's say you are a football fan, okay? So you analyze, let's say Chelsea and Real Madrid. You analyze their historical scores. So maybe they have met like 10 times in the past. So here you decided to analyze that historical data to understand what has happened between the two teams. Now, during the descriptive analytics, you discover that, okay, anytime Chelsea maybe goes to Real Madrid's home, maybe there's always a draw. Or maybe anytime Real Madrid comes to Chelsea, I don't know their home, the names of their stadiums. I'm not a football guy. So based on that, you'll be able to understand what has happened in the past between these two teams. Now, during the diagnostic analytics, you would want to take this a step further to understand why is it that anytime Chelsea meets Real Madrid at this particular time or at this particular venue, Chelsea always wins. So from that diagnostic analytics, you would get more information or insight that will help you to understand why certain things happened in the past. Then during the predictive analytics, based on the insight that you have gathered from your diagnostic analytics and the predictive analytics, you can use that as a basis to predict that in this coming match between Chelsea and Real Madrid, there is maybe 90% probability that Chelsea will win. So here you are predicting based on what has happened in the past. So if you take a look at this, you see that this looks like a step or steps in the journey. So it's one step, we build on it and move on to the next one. Because you can only predict when you know what has already happened. If you don't know what has happened in the past, it's very difficult to predict the future. So when you are doing predictive analytics, our goal is to predict future outcomes. So this starts with historical data. And then you'll be able to analyze the data to spot trends and patterns. And then you can apply those insights to predict what would happen next. So here it involves developing statistical and machine learning model techniques such as forecasting, decision tree, and regression analysis that will help you to take some variables and then predict some future outcomes. Now let's look at an example here. So here you see that we have sales from July 2020 up to April 2020. Now, based on what has happened in the past, we have been able to discover the pattern or the trend. Now, based on this, we are predicting what will happen from April going forward. So you see the gray shaded area. This is a forecast, or the line. This is a forecast. So we are basing everything on what has happened in the past. And here you can see the trend. So you see that it's trending downwards. So this predicts, or this will help you to forecast what will happen going forward. This is an example of a predictive analytics. Then we also have prescriptive. So prescribe. So just like going to see a doctor who is going to prescribe something for you, maybe a medicine or maybe a medication or maybe a surgery or some operation for you. So here, based on what has happened in the past and what you expect to happen going forward, you can make prescriptions to the organization. So here it tells you to answer the question, how can we make it happen? How can we make it happen? So this is where the real value of data analytics is, where you'll be able to use data to prescribe or to recommend appropriate actions that the organization need to take in order to achieve its objective. So for example, maybe your company has bought shares on, let's say, Ghana Stock Exchange. So they bought maybe GCB shares. Now, during the descriptive analytics, you decided to pick the performance of GCB over the past 5 years. You decided to analyze it. You realize that within a particular year, or maybe their revenue has been trending downwards over all this period. Now, during the diagnostic analytics, you went further to understand why is it that their revenue has been trending downwards over the past 5 years. You discovered some key insights. Now, use that insight to predict that, okay, if that's the case, or this what has happened in the past, and based on this and this or these factors, these are the ones that is causing the company to record lower revenue over the past 5 years. Now, based on that, you'll be able to predict, okay, so based on this and this, it's likely that in the next 5 years, this company is not going to make profit. That's your prediction. This company is not going to make profit. Now, doing the prescriptive analytics, then you can use that insight to prescribe to management what they need to do. So if they have shares in that company, you can prescribe to them or recommend to them that based on what I have built, based on the model that I have built, this company is likely to lose some profit or maybe some values, or it's likely that their profit or their share prices are going to drop in the next coming month or the next coming years. So because of this, management should sell their shares at this moment. So during the prescriptive analytics, you are recommending appropriate actions that will help the company to make data-driven decisions in the face of uncertainty. So these are the key or the 4 main types of data analytics. Now, when you go to some organizations, what they do is just descriptive analytics because of their maturity and how far they have been in their data journey. But when you go to some big tech organizations like Facebook or Microsoft or Google, most of them are applying prescriptive analytics. They are able to recommend appropriate actions that will help them to maximize their profits. So if you go to platforms like Netflix, if you have an account there, you see that sometimes based on the kind of videos or the kind of movies or the kind of programs that you watch on the platform, they can analyze the data to understand the kind of things that you watch on the platform, and they can use that to recommend some of the videos or programs that you might be interested in. Now, let's take an example like Facebook. You see that Facebook, sometimes when you go into your timeline, they show you some people that you should connect with. Now, sometimes if you go through those people, you see that these are people who are within your circle or the people that you have met before. Now, how did they come by those insights or those recommendations? They have analyzed the people that you are connected to on the platform who are connected to the people that they are recommending to you. So based on your connection and the kind of things that you do on the platform, they have more information about you, what your interests are, the people that you are connected with. And then based on this, they are able to recommend some people to you. So prescriptive analytics is really powerful. And that's where organizations begin to get more value from their data. Now, let's look at the data landscape. Now, what is the job market looks like for data professionals? Now, in 2020, based on research from IBM, in 2020, every single person generated 1.7 megabytes of data in just a second. Every single person generated 1.7 megabytes of data. Now, over the next 3 years, up to 2025, it's expected that globally, we are going to generate about 463 exabytes of data every single day. Now, what this means is that companies are going to have large amounts of data at their disposal. Companies are going to have huge amounts of data that they need to deal with. The challenge is not about how to collect the data, because now we have a lot of platforms that are really affordable that is enabling companies to collect data. If you take platforms like Google Analytics, it's a free platform that companies can use to collect data on their platform or a website to understand the users who are visiting their platform, where they are coming from, the kind of devices that they are using. This is a free platform. So now most companies have access to all the technologies that they need to collect the data. Now the challenge comes in when the company wants to generate value from the data. And this has to do with the human capital, getting people who have the right skills to help them to mine and get insight from the data. So what this means is that as data keeps getting bigger, the need for professionals who have that skill to transform that data into actionable insight is going to be on their high demand, or they are going to experience an increase in demand. And now the thing is not even about you being in a data analytics or the data field. Regardless of the industry, regardless of the field or what you do, you'll be working with data. And those of us who are already working can testify to that fact, that whatever that you do, whether you are a marketer, you are a salesperson, you are a healthcare professional, you'll be working with data. So it means that there is going to be a huge opportunity for people who have strong data skills, because the data that is going to be available to companies is going to be increasing every single day. So that's how the market looks like. Now let's look at some research by World Economic Forum. So this is a recent, one of their latest reports on the future of work. Now from this report, they highlighted that by 2025, new jobs are going to be created, whilst some of the existing jobs are going to be displaced because of technology, because of AI. Some jobs are going to be displaced and then new jobs are going to emerge. We also have some existing jobs that are also going to experience an increase in demand. So here they mentioned that about 97 million new roles are going to be created, and about 85 million roles or existing roles are going to be displaced. Now from this report, they highlighted some of the skills or some of the roles that are going to experience a growing demand. Now let's look at the growing demand skills. We have number 1, data analyst and data scientist. Number 2, AI and machine learning specialist. Then we have 3, big data specialist. And then 4, digital marketing and strategy specialist. Now we are going to focus on the first 3, data analyst, AI and machine learning specialist, and big data specialist. Now these 3 roles have something in common. They are all within the data space. They all work with data. So that's it. And you can see now we are seeing even more applications of data with AI coming into the space. Now, these are the professionals who help companies to get insight from their data. So it means that if you are somebody who already has some skill set or who want to develop skill sets within the data space, you have a huge market or potential ahead of you. You just have to prepare yourself and make sure you have the relevant skills that will help you to maximize your potential as organizations are becoming more data driven. Every organization now wants to make sure that they are making decisions based on data. And this presents a huge opportunity for all of us. Now let's look at another research which was done by Tableau. So Tableau is one of the data analytics or business intelligence platforms, and it's owned by Salesforce. So what they do is that they provide a platform that helps companies to analyze and get insight from their data. Now they did a survey. So they surveyed some recruiters or hiring managers. So they asked them to rate the top 5 skills that they look out for when they are hiring entry-level candidates. And these are the 5 skills that they highlighted: data skills or data literacy, communication and collaboration skills, basic computer skills, project management skills, presentation and public speaking skills. These are the top 5 skills that they look out for when they are hiring entry-level candidates. But here you can see that they ranked data skills or data literacy as the number 1 skill. So if you are a graduate, you are a student preparing to enter the job market, one of the key skills that you need to develop is your data skills or data literacy. The other ones are equally important. Communication is very key. Even you need that in order to become a well-rounded data professional. Basic computing skills is very key. Project management skills is also very key for data analysts. And presentation or public speaking skills is equally important for data professionals. Now let's look at another insight from the same report. Now according to the same report, They said that data skills have risen in importance over the past 5 years, and the trend isn't likely to stop anytime soon. So, from the same report, they asked hiring managers how they anticipate, or what they anticipate, or what skills they anticipate that is going to increase in importance in the next 5 years. So they brought in data skills, communication and collaboration skills, research skills, project management, and computer programming skills. Now, here again, we have data skills or data literacy as the number one skill that is going to experience an increase in importance in the next 5 years. And this trend started over the past 5 years. And this trend is going to increase, or is going to continue going forward. So this is very key. So if you have data skills, if you are looking to develop your data skills, this presents a huge opportunity for you to leverage. So develop the skills that you need that will help you to take advantage of the future opportunities. So here it doesn't depend on your role. Everything that you do at the moment, whether you are a journalist or you are accountant or you are a finance professional or you are a healthcare specialist, you need to develop your data skill. Now, we also have another insight from the same research. So they asked them, how important are data skills to each of the following departments when you are hiring entry-level candidates? So they asked them, within the different department that they have, how relevant are data skills? So that's what they came up with. In IT, like 92%. In product development, research and development, in finance, human resource, business admin, marketing, and sales, data skills are really important. So the key insight or the takeaway is that regardless of the industry that you are in, regardless of the field that you are in or you want to play in, having strong foundation in data literacy skill is going to help you to succeed in the current modern workspace. So it means you don't need to be a data professional in order to learn data analytics. Regardless of what you do, you need to learn how to drive decisions using data. Now think about these two people. Maybe you work in, let's say, marketing. Now you go to your boss. Your boss, I feel like we need to introduce this particular product. When we introduce it, customers are going to buy. Our users are going to jump onto that product. Now another person went, yes sir, I want us to introduce this product. Now based on my research, based on the analysis that I have done within the industry, this is how much people are consuming on this particular product. This is how much customers are spending on this product. Now somebody went with just his own experience, his own feeling and intuition. Now somebody went with a proposal backed by data. With these two people, which of them do you think the manager would want to accept the proposal? The person who came in with data, with statistics. So he did his research, came in with data back or data driven recommendations. And that's what most companies are looking out for. They don't want you to come in, I feel like, I think. No. Based on the data that we have, this is what the data is telling us. Boss, I feel like we need to stop producing this particular product. Nobody's going to take you seriously. Boss, these are the sales for this product over the past 5 years. We have seen that customers are no longer interested in the product. This is how much, or this is the percentage decline in the sales or in demand for this particular product over the past 5 years. So we need to maybe add something, add more features to this product, or let's redesign the package or do something else that will cause customers to buy. When you make such recommendations, they are going to take you seriously, and it's something that is going to help you in your career instead of just using your own intuition or your own feelings to make business decisions. Now let's look at the roles. So now you know the space, how it looks like, the kind of analysis that we do in the industry. Now if you want to go into that space, what options do you have? So here we are going to look at some of the data roles like data engineers, database developers, data scientists, data analysts, BI analysts, and all that. So let's dive into each of these roles and then understand what they do and how we can also begin that journey. So we have data engineers. Now, what did they do? Now, first, let's look at what data engineering is. Now, data engineering is the practice of designing and then creating or building systems that will make it easier for organizations to collect, store, and analyze their data. So with data engineering, the goal is to develop and build systems that will make it easier for organizations to collect and store data and also perform analysis on that data. So data engineers, their core mandate is to build systems and pipelines that will make it easier for organizations to collect and transform their data into actionable insights. So they make sure that the right data is always available for data scientists and business analysts to work on to help companies to generate insights. So their goal is to make sure the data pipelines are always active, the organization is collecting the right and relevant data that they need to transform their businesses. So that's what they do. Now, what skills do you need if you want to become a data engineer? You should have experience with big data tools like Hadoop or Spark. So some of you may not be familiar with these tools, so don't worry, okay? When you start that journey, you definitely explore these tools. Then you should also have experience with data pipelines and workflow management tools. You should also have a strong programming language or programming skills like Java, Python, or Scala. You should also have a good knowledge of relational databases like MongoDB, Microsoft SQL Server, and then non-relational databases like MongoDB and then Cassandra. So these are all platforms that companies are using to collect data. So to become a data engineer, your programming skills must be on point. You should have good knowledge of relational and non-relational databases. You should also have experience with big data platforms. Now let's look at another role. So here we are looking at BI analyst, business intelligence analyst. This is one of the sections that we focus on here at First Man, where we prepare people to become business intelligence or business analyst. Now, business intelligence analysts leverage the various BI tools to help companies to analyze and get insight from their data, which will enable them to make data-driven decisions. So business intelligence analysts, their main goal is to leverage the platforms that we have, specifically business intelligence platforms, that will enable organizations to analyze and get insight from their data. So for you to become a BI analyst, you should be very good with data visualization and reporting, how to develop reports and dashboard. You should also have experience using some of the business intelligence platforms like Power BI or Tableau. You should be very good with SQL, how to work with relational databases. Most organizations store their data in databases. Now, to be able to extract and query that data, you need to learn how to write SQL language that will be able to help you to extract that data and then analyze it. You should also have knowledge in data wrangling and data modeling, how you be able to model data, how to work with multiple tables, and how to transform them so that it will make it easier for organizations to analyze and get insight from the data. So some of the tools that are used within this space includes MySQL, which is an example of a relational database. We also have Oracle. We also have Microsoft SQL Server. Then Tableau, Power BI, Google Sheets, and then Excel. These are some of the skills that you need to develop, or some of the tools that are being used by BI analysts. Now let's look at business analysts. So business analysts use data to form business insights that will enable them to help organizations to maximize their effectiveness through data-driven decisions. So business analysts get insight from the data and use that data to help organizations to maximize their effectiveness. So here they look at the organization's processes, some of the procedures that they have internally, and they look at how they can use data to improve those processes. So business analysts help companies to make confident data-driven decisions, which is formed by real-time insight. Now, if you want to become a business analyst, what do you need to do, or what skills do you need? You need to have advanced skills in Microsoft Excel. You need to have experience working with SQL. And then your data visualization and reporting skills must also be on point. You should also have some project management skills, how to manage projects. You should be able to have those skills. Now, these are some of the common tools being used by business analysts: SQL, Tableau, Power BI, Google Sheets, and the Microsoft Excel. Now, let's look at data scientists. Now, data scientists perform deeper analysis and develop predictive or machine learning models that are able to solve complex data problems. So the goal of data scientists is to create and deploy models that are able to extract knowledge, which can then further analyze as the basis for forecasting and decision making. So data scientists develop models, so machine learning models or statistical models that are able to predict future outcomes and also help organizations to solve complex business problems or challenges. Now let's look at the difference between data scientists and then data analysts. So data analysts, their goal is to find meaningful insight from data. So they have to find insight or trends or patterns in the data that will help them to answer some key business questions. So your boss wants to find, okay, is our sales going up or is going down? Who are our top 5 customers? Which products are doing well? Which products are not doing well and we need to stop producing? These are some of the kind of questions that data analysts help companies to solve. But data scientists, on the other hand, are often expected to form their own questions and then use data to predict and answer those business questions. So what they do is that they develop models and algorithms to predict future outcomes that involves the use of past data or trends. So here they develop machine learning models that are able to predict future outcomes. So they form their own questions about the data and they develop models that are able to help them to accept or reject their hypothesis. So that's what data scientists do. Now let's look at data analysts in greater detail. Now data analysts collect, they clean, they interpret data to discover trends and patterns that will help them to answer key business questions. So they draw insight from the data through complex analysis, data mining, and data visualization. Now, what skills do you need if you want to become a data analyst? You need to have strong Microsoft Excel skills. You need to learn how to use SQL to extract data from databases. You need to learn how to develop interactive reports and dashboards using Power BI or Tableau. Then you should be very good with data storytelling, how you be able to tell story using data. You should also have strong technical skills and creative thinking skills that will help you to solve problems. Then you should also have strong communication skills as well as strong analytical skills. Now, some of the tools being used by data analysts include MySQL, Tableau, Power BI, Google Sheets, and Microsoft Excel. Now, let's look at 3 of the major roles that we have within the data space. That's data analysts, data scientists, and data engineers. So first, let's look at the problem solving side. Now, when it comes to data analysts, their main goal is to analyze data that will help them to discover trends and patterns that they can use to answer key business questions. Some of the relevant skills that you need to become a data analyst, as I highlighted in the previous slide, is Microsoft Excel, SQL, business intelligence tool like Power BI, Tableau, and then you should also have strong analytical thinking. Now, with data scientists, their goal is to perform deeper analysis by developing predictive models that are able to solve complex business problems. You need to have some knowledge in machine learning models or machine learning techniques. You should also have some knowledge in statistics. And then you should also have some coding skills in Python or R. So if you're afraid of coding, for coding, like, it's inevitable in data science, though we have other fields within the data science space that doesn't involve coding, but most of them write codes. So you have some of them who are just to review codes which has been written by others. Okay, so these are the things that you need to develop if you want to become a world-class data scientist. Then we also have data engineers. So as mentioned, their goal is to collect, manage, and ensure that the organization is having the right data that they need so that other data professionals can rely on to help the companies to make data-driven decisions. So here, some of the skills that you need is SQL, how to work with relational databases, big data tools like Hadoop, cloud computing, or data security. So you need to have these skills if you also want to go into data engineering. Now, aside these roles, we also have industry-specific roles. So when you go to some industries, we also have some specific roles. So these are not like core data analysts, but what they are doing is that they are applying analytics in their field. They are using data to drive decisions within their industries. So these are the industry-specific roles. So we have marketing analyst. So now what do they do? So marketing analyst, okay, we throw more light into it. So we have marketing analyst, we have finance analyst, we have HR analyst, and then we have healthcare analyst. Now let's look at each of them. So with marketing analyst, their goal here is to help companies to decide what product they should sell, which market they should explore, and what marketing or advertising campaigns that they should explore in order to maximize their revenue. So what they are doing here is to apply analytics in their decision making. So before you recommend a particular product, before you recommend a particular location or a channel that the company should explore, you need to be able to make those decisions using data. So what they do is that they help companies to maximize their profit or their sales from their products or services. Now they make their decisions using data. Then we have financial analysts. So financial analysts use data to help organizations to maximize their investment opportunities. So finance analysts use data to help companies to explore investment opportunities, identify revenue opportunities, and also mitigate their financial risk. So they use data to help companies to make decisions that will help them to maximize their returns from the various investment opportunities that are ahead of them. Then we also have HR analysts. So they collect data about HR operations and they use that to help to make some data-driven decisions. So now we have professionals like people analysts or people analytics. What they do is that they apply analytics in HR function. So for example, if you are hiring, who should we hire? On what basis are we looking at? So using data, you'll be able to know the right skills that you need to look out for when you are hiring new staff. Who should we fire? So maybe the company is actually undergoing reconstruction. Now some people need to be laid off. Which people should we lay off so that we don't lay off the most talented professionals within the organization? All these involves data, and this is where the HR professionals come in because they have the business acumen within the industry. Then they apply their analytic skills and then competencies to help companies to make those decisions. But here the decision is not going to be based on their own intuition, but it's going to be backed by data. Then we have product analysts. So here they use data to understand how organizations can improve the user experience of the kind of product that they produce for their end users. Then we have risk analysts. So they also use data to help companies to manage their risk. So this can be found in so many industries, especially now that most companies are moving into cloud and then online. They are being exposed to cyber attacks and all that. So risk analysts or cybersecurity analysts will help those companies to manage and mitigate their risk exposures. Then we also have healthcare analysts. So here they are applying analytics within the healthcare industry. So they collect data and they analyze that data to make sure that they are always recommending the appropriate medications and operations for their customers or their patients. Now, what skills do you need if you want to become a data professional? So you have looked at all the roles. Now we are looking at the core skills that cut across all those roles. So here we have broken it into two main areas: technical skills on the left side, and we have the soft skills on the other side. So this looks like the brain that we have. So the technical side is at the left side of the brain, and then the soft skills is at the right side of the brain. So now let's go into each of them. So here we are looking at the technical skills. So you need to learn how to work with databases using SQL. You need to learn how to explore and analyze data using Microsoft Excel. You should learn how to tell story and develop reports using Power BI or Tableau. Then you should be able to perform data modeling. Now, most companies are not making decisions based on one single source of data. Most of them are working with data from different sources. So as a data analyst, you should be confident in working with multiple data by creating relationships among the multiple tables and making sure that the organization is making decisions based on a single source of truth. Then with the soft skills, you need to have problem solving skills. Data analytics or data science or anything within the data space is about solving problems. It's not about knowing how to use Excel, but you can't use it to solve problems. It's about being able to challenge yourself and then solve the complex problems organizations are being faced with. You should be able to think critically. Critical thinking is also very key. Being able to follow a structured approach in solving problems and thinking critically to make sure that you don't miss out on anything. You should also have business acumen. You should understand your industry, the business that you work with. You need to be able to understand the market in which they operate, their competitors, the key performance indicators in that industry. This will help you to make sure that when you are developing reports or you are coming up with recommendations, you put those recommendations in context. So you need to understand the environment that the company operates so you fully appreciate what is going on within the industry so you can come up with relevant recommendations and actionable insight. Then you should also have strong communication skills. You need to be able to communicate really well because you'll be working with people from different industries with different backgrounds. So you need to be able to communicate clearly so that when you are coming up with recommendations, they'll be able to understand and appreciate what you are saying. Then you should also be inquisitive. If something is wrong, you should be able to find out why is this that? Why is this figure showing 9? If there's any outlier, if there's any anomaly in your data, you should be able to identify it. Now you can only identify this if you are inquisitive. If something is wrong, you should pause and ask yourself, why is this showing this? Let me find out if everything is clear. So these are the key skills that you need if you want to begin your career within the data space, either as a data scientist, a data analyst, machine learning specialist, or AI specialist. These are the key skills that will help you to succeed. So this is where I'm going to end or pause the section. I'm going to pause here and then find out if you have any questions. Then I'm going to take you through the things that we are going to cover in our upcoming bootcamp and why you should join that bootcamp if you really want to learn these skills.